everybody, welcome to another episode of Talent Jack. I'm your host, Robert. As you can see in the background today, there's no Talent Jack poster. It's wrong for road. We are in Chicago currently, and today I have with me a special guest, Tom O. Welcome to the show, my friend. How you been?
Appreciate it. Very well. Maintained.
So we're going to start off, why don't you tell people a little bit about yourself, what you do, kind of artist you are, where you're
From Chicago, actually down the street from Big Shot. Yeah, some people that you can film me later. Started off in Chicago, same place. Influenced by Chicago artists and other local artists in the game. So, Portage Park area.
You elaborate on some of those local artists, like who?
Cousin Vinny.
Okay.
He produces most of my music, records my videos. Worked with G-Tech, another really great artist, Illest Metaphor. So, he's got a really good catalog, real conscious MC. And then I haven't had the time to work with him, but he did come out to a couple of my shows, and I do support him as well as Uncle Slump with 777 Gang. And very another conscious rapper, involved with maybe 20 plus other rappers that have a collaborative group of conscious rappers.
So you got huge range of people. Most of it sounds like it's mostly underground artists, which is where a lot of good artists actually start at.
Yes, and a lot of artists sometimes even tend to stay in that realm just because of the independent moves they can make and subject
to
down
by
they can, exactly.
Man sitting up top,
telling them what to do. Yes, so independent sometimes is the way to go, and it's a close knit circle, and the circle just resonates. It gets bigger, and people fall into the fold. That
you can branch out how you want to and establish yourself a little bit.
Definitely.
So I've actually got a chance to listen to some of your stuff. And you definitely, from my experience, I don't have a whole lot of experience with, rappers and a lot of musicians, but your style is definitely more towards the Midwest. And I know there's a bunch of different styles. You got the Southwest, maybe Tupac, Ludacris, T.I., and all the different type of styles when they rap. What would you say is the more influential style for you? Growing up and starting out, like, what did you listen to most of?
Style and format changed over the years. Growing up, when you're younger, you have a younger state of mentality, and the game was different when I was growing up, as opposed to it is now. More conscious, more subject matter, not so much into gimmicks, trends, and fashion, as opposed to what's really going on. But Bone Thugs and Harmony, Twista, Crucial Conflict, Do or Die.
You go way back.
Just to show my age, and then Wu-Tang, EPMD, Dilated Peoples, Mos Def, Yasin Bey, Talib Kweli. So I moved to more of an East Coast influence later on, being exposed to Biggie as opposed to Tupac. Shout out to both, but I felt I got more in depth and more conscious as I listened to East Coast hip hop. And then it branched off in the Midwest, since you got Vinny Pass and other cats from Philly that are really, really conscious or really dope, just besides Meek Mill.
Tech Nine.
Tech
them in there, which there's a lot of really good Midwest artists.
Yes, definitely.
So your lyrics, why don't you talk about that a little bit? I know a lot of people tend to choose a subject, be women or money or drugs or moral cause problems or whatever. So in your lyrics, are you trying to send a message to people to let them hear, or are you just trying to make something that let people vibe to?
That's really an excellent question, and to gel those together, I think, is one of the goals, is to have good content and good conscious subject matter, but don't lose your audience as well, and to keep them in vibe. So to combine conscious subject matter to a vibe that you could just dance or just get a vibe into and vibe out to combine the both as well. So you're actually vibing out and jamming to the song, and it actually has a good conscious subject matter, and you might learn something. But I try not to shove that down people's throats.
You don't want to sound like you're preaching. too much.
Preaching, yeah, exactly, because I'm definitely not a saint. So,
I mean, let's be honest with it.
yeah, right. I mean,
We all got our hands dirty.
yeah, definitely. And just to try to combine them both and not preach. And, you know, you might pick up on a couple of gems, and you might pick on a couple of philosophers or deities or gods or names I might drop, and you can be like, oh, who's that? And what did he do? And
People think
and
they
then
want to learn.
people, rest in peace, Nipsey Hussle, who just recently conspiracy around him, but like talking about Dr. Sebi. And then you're going down the whole health tunnel
Yeah,
and
he's exposing a lot
yeah,
recently on social media. And if
Definitely.
you don't know who that guy is, he actually legitimately cured, I think, like 95% of diseases, but mysteriously died like years later. Like, it's,
in police custody.
yeah, just look him up if you get a chance. He's a good guy, but we're getting off topic.
Yeah.
I apologize. But, okay, so it sounds like you put a lot of good things into your lyrics.
I try to,
And
yes.
Yeah, and I know a lot of things like mainstream gets flooded with just like the same crap. It's just constantly repeating. It's like, okay, literally that guy just wrote something just like that.
100%.
Yeah, and that's why like a lot of my friends, they listen to a lot more underground guys because
Awesome.
they're more free to do what they want, like old school
100%.
ciphers. Like when they used to freestyle, they get together and it's like smokers around a fire barrel when it's cold. It's
Yeah.
the same thing with artists out on
Yeah.
the streets.
Yeah.
Underground, you know, they spit the real things. So
100%.
your technique, your style, when you're rhyming, is it? I know like Eminem, he does like literally every word rhymes pretty much in like a sequence.
Mhm.
He'll probably do like 6 to 10 bars, just straight pure rhymes, and then he'll drop a couple things which is normal lines. For you, is it that kind of style, or are you more just like a what's the word, a literal? I think it is. I'm losing myself, but you know what I mean.
Yeah, no, and it's sometimes it's simple to answer, and sometimes it's not.
Right.
As opposed to each MC, but I kind of let the beat speak to me, and
Okay,
whatever
so you want
the
it to flow
beat,
through.
yeah, obviously it's not a cappella. I let the beat speak to me and what it's saying. If it sounds more aggressive, then maybe I'll come with more aggressive tone and subject matter. If it's more laid back, more vibey, I might approach it that way. So I usually let the beat speak to me and I approach it that way. And then the lyrics just kind of fall in place.
Okay, so that was going to be another thing. So so me when I write songs, it's usually lyrics first before I even get the tone.
And that happens a lot too with a lot.
Right, and a lot of people are like, well, why do you do that? How do you know? So it's just like the melody is here. I can hear the music. I can feel it. And then that's where my lyrics come from when I'm writing stuff. So for you, it sounds like you go either way, but if you had a preference between the two, would you rather hear the beat laid out on the track first and then write your lyrics and where you can flow through better, or do you want the lyrics and then the beat?
100% the first time, but I usually like to hear the beat and then let the lyrics come. But recently, one track I did 8 bars and then another 8, and the first 8 I wrote was actually to nothing. It was actually just to kind of like how you made up a melody in your head,
Like almost kind of.
and I gelled it to the beat when I finally heard it, and then I wrote another 8 after I heard the beat. So, and that was actually one of the first times I did that, but almost 100% of the time, it's usually I like to hear the beat first, and then I'll formulate and see how that beat speaks.
I got you, yeah, and one of the things I always speak on, and in any episodes that you've seen, I always talk about the passion. It's passion. And what it sounds like you let the music take hold of you, and you don't take a hold of the music. And that to me shows that you have more passion in it than what most people do, because nowadays you have, like I said, mainstream, anything really is centered around one thing, and what everybody is sheeping to is the term I'll use. And I know a lot of underground artists nowadays are trying to make sure people are quote unquote.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. So, and he listens to you speaking, like I said, I've got a chance to listen to some of your stuff, and it sounds like you put a lot into it, and I like that, and I like the fact that your lyrics are showing more passion than what most people are doing, and it's those kind of people that we're here to let people get to know, because we're not trying to focus on this mainstream, but we want the people that are actually out here, like lower class, middle class, that are actually doing what they're supposed to be doing. trying to be there for the people. It sounds like you're
For sure.
the voice for the people.
Thank you.
So, and I know this is another question I had for you is, I know this subject comes up a lot with people. So, in your opinion, who do you think the greatest of all time is? Like, in your opinion, be mainstream, underground. You might even mention somebody that nobody knows. Like, in your opinion, like, who do you think?
It's really hard to name one person,
Mm.
but if I like, since you asked, and
Bruce Count.
I have to, oh, that's interesting. But I would probably still have to bring it to one MC, and that would probably be Vinny Paz. Vinny Paz.
He's good.
And just because of the subject matter, and it's not even really necessarily his style and what he's done, because his catalog isn't very famous. A lot of people don't even know of him. But it's just subject matter. I've heard him do like a history lesson 10-minute song, like exposing like slavery and currency and just things that you don't want to dive the rabbit hole. I mean,
Yeah, he's definitely like a conspiracy theorist in a way on some of his lyrics.
Definitely 100%.
We listen to, me and a couple friends, we listen to a lot.
Oh,
A
that's
lot of
dope.
stuff he put on YouTube. But he technically, like his style itself it's real smooth.
Yes, yes.
He speaks on a lot of strong subject matters that a lot of people are afraid to rap about or sing about or come open about.
And another one that I'll mention quickly is Immortal Technique. And I think he exposes and says a lot.
And he's really good at telling a good
It's
story.
yeah, actually, you know, I deemed Nas for a long time as like a really good storyteller.
Right.
And then I heard Immortal Technique talk about a story about one of his, I guess, enemy's friends, his mom with AIDS, and the spreading of that and how that story conspired, and that was really opened my eyes to Immortal Technique with storytelling. So he's an amazing storyteller.
Oh yeah, I agree. I at work I always get a lot of people that come on and don't really know who that is. And they're like, oh, I never heard of this. I always play one song for them.
Yeah.
At the end they're like, that was really dark.
That was really dark.
Like
But
now
it's-
you got to learn something new. Well, I'm interested in hearing you spit a couple bars. I'm sure
Awesome.
people listening are interested as well. So why don't we get to that? Huh?
We try to freestyle.
Hear your talent, yeah.
Shout out to Talent Jack. Thank you for having me out. I appreciate it. Top one, look it up. Freestyle. This is what we do. Elevation, looking like meditation. Never premeditated. Off the top, thought was never preconceived. Adam and Eve, test tube coming out of the ground, sprouting like a tree. I see in between seams of the smoke. Look around, Lucas, coming around, thinking would you do this? Judas, one's that lie, one's that steal, one's that vibe. Look me in the eyes, tell me I'm not real. Banana time, gonna peel, slip on it, go back, grip on it. So what you want is not blood on it. It's in the DNA, I see through the cage, see through the frame, I see through the stage. Gauge, 12 of them. Judged by 6, where are you from? Don't matter. The chitter chatted in the background, just the noise I break down. Killer to the noise, the feeling is a void that I came back from. With the knowledge to talk, written down. 100 books like a flame to a moth. High attracted, inactive, back to blasting. More like back, green, acting. Matter of fact, shocking. Matter of fact, I'm the one that's over here blocking. But tumble to the stumble with the crosshairs. Go back, you might get lost there. Lost voice, choice of course. The voice is the one in tune with the moisture. Go back, I know I'm not. Already know that I am Photoshop, but it's something inconceivable. Matter of fact, everything's achievable. Look inside yourself, one true light. Go back, the one who's trying to fight. Look into the eyes of the might. From below, as above it. Don't try to fight it, let it come and consume. Go back, move it through the room. Where's the elephant? I see the scene. Where's the intelligence? Where's the demon? I see the technology. I guess it's 3, 6, and 9 decoded by Tesla. Looking at the man, I'm not next up. I'm just next to it. Matter of fact, all around. If you can't be grabbed up,
like a canopy. How can this be? Majesty made me. Matter of fact, magic between the lines seeming. Matter of fact, stealing with the demon. Go back, it's just another office. Off the street. Matter of fact, I'm awful. Try to come and greet. Shake it in hand. Make it around. Shake my hand. A gentleman's crown. We'll be going on the